Hello and welcome back to Behold and Resold. My name is Courtney and I'm a part-time reseller. So I try to find things at a great deal and then turn around and resell them for a profit. 2 weekends ago, my wife and I drove a little over an hour away to a small city that seems to have a ton of great thrift stores. We were there about a month prior when I was just starting out, so I didn't really know a whole lot. I was just starting to do some thrifting and we still did pretty decent, and we wanted to go back to check out some more. So this time we checked out 6 different thrift stores. There was 3 Goodwills that we went to, 1 Salvation Army, 1 Veterans thrift store, and a Christian thrift store. And so we ended up spending only about $94, got a ton of stuff, and I believe we're going to make a killer profit out of these things. So the first store that we went to was a Goodwill. We got there a couple minutes before it opened at 9 o'clock. So we were one of the first ones in, and we ended up spending a lot more time than we had planned, but that was because we just kept finding really cool things. I think we got about 10 to 12 items there, so let me show you some of those. So one of the things we picked up at that Goodwill was this Leapfrog Epic tablet. It's like a kid's learning tablet. It's actually pretty cool. We picked it up for about $5, and I currently have it listed for $35. And then we got 2 of these transport vehicles that haul these little construction vehicles, and so you can load them on and off of the trailer. And I believe the truck actually is one of those that you pull it back and let it go, and it moves forward. So that's pretty cool. I got 2 of those, and they were each $3, and I have them listed for $35 each as well. So next up was a pretty cool item. I actually wanted to test it out, but the box isn't sealed, but the item inside is completely sealed. I don't want to open it up just to play with it, but it kind of has some Nerf type guns, and then there's this drone that operates on batteries, and it will hover in the air, and you get to shoot it down. So it sounds like a lot of fun, and the kid in me really wants to try it out. But I'm going to go ahead and sell it. I picked it up for $8, and I have it listed for $20. So it's a pretty good deal. Then I picked up this Barbie Mega Bloks toy. It's not much, but it only costs $1, and when I did comps on it, they were going for $10 to $15, so I have it listed for, I think, $10 or $11. All right, and then another popular item apparently are these Hatchimals, which are these little eggs that you break open and they have different animals inside. You try to collect them all. So the packaging is pretty beat up. Like the backing is kind of ripping off, but it's still sealed. Like the seal isn't broken, it's just that the packaging is kind of beat up. So I believe I got this for $2, and I have it listed for $11. I debated back and forth on picking this particular one up just because there wasn't a whole lot of profit in it, and I was seeing a lot of varying prices, so I just wasn't sure what I was going to be able to get out of it. So I did a little bit more research when I got home, and not getting as much as I would like out of it, but still, profit is profit, and so about $9 profit is good. Alright, and then this next item, I spent quite a bit of time in the Goodwill trying to figure out what it was, trying to look it up, because it looked like it was something that could be expensive, but I just could not find good comps on it. I could find a few similar things, but I just could not find this exact item. So, if I can get it out of here. But it's this Naromi Gift Gallery bone china. So it's like some sort of candy dish or like a little trinket dish. And it has some, from what I could find out, it has the gold edging is 24 karat gold, and it seems to be pretty rare. Like I said, I couldn't find much on this. So it's vintage, and from what I could figure out, I currently have it listed at $50. It may not sell for that, but I figure I would start there. It's easier to start high and then lower your price than it is to list it too low and then it sell quickly and be like, I probably could have got more out of that if I would have listed it for higher. But I picked it up for $5, so I think I'll make some good money off of that. It just might take a while to sell because it's going to be probably a specific buyer that's going to be looking for something like that. And then to finish off the shopping at that Goodwill, we ended up also getting about 6 plushes. 3 of them were Squishmallows, so if you don't know, those are pretty popular, and we found 3 of them there. And I've already sold 1 of them to someone that I know here locally, but it was a Mitzi the Mermaid. I'll put screenshots of these plushes over here next to me, because I don't have them up here in this room, so I'll just put a screenshot over here. So Mitzi the Mermaid I sold to a friend. And then there was Sabrina the Pink Catercorn. And then Zuzana the Saturn Space Squad. All of these plushes I picked up for $2 each, and these Squishmallows I'm listing for $15. And then we got this really cool Disney milestone Mickey Mouse 1955 Mouseketeer Collector's Limited Edition 21-inch plush. So it's actually pretty cool. I was thinking it was going to sell for a lot more. I haven't sold it yet, but comps were running about $20 on it, which is still good. With Mickey stuff, it's sometimes hard to tell because there's tons of collectors out there that collect Mickey Mouse stuff, and so sometimes it can go for a lot and sometimes not so much. And it seems like the stuff that's higher value is the stuff that's still in the original packaging, things like that, which just isn't. It's still in great condition, so I'm sure I can probably still get the $20. But either way, it's a really cool item. So next up we have this Build-A-Bear The Flash plush, and I thought it was pretty cool. Back many years ago I used to watch a show on, I can't remember if it was Hulu or some online streaming platform. I used to watch that series and I really enjoyed it. So I picked it up and I think I can sell it for about $20. And then the last plush that we got at this place was another Build-A-Bear. This one was a Promise Pets Labradoodle dog that also had this really cool like pink sequin dress. So we also have that listed for about $20. So we left that Goodwill pretty excited with everything that we had found and looked forward to the next stop, which was the Salvation Army. We went inside, we walked around, wasn't really finding much, but I did end up finding these. But we did end up finding 2 of these, which are called Crazy Gears Interlocking Learning Blocks. So there's blocks and gears that you can build a whole system. And the item inside is still inside the plastic packaging, so it's never been opened, brand new. I got 2 of these for $1 each, and I am looking to list them, and I have them listed for $20 on eBay. So even though we didn't find a lot of stuff at this thrift store, the potential profit is still really good. So close to $40, about $38 profit potential there. So that's awesome. So the next stop was the Veterans Thrift Store, and that store is actually owned and operated by veterans and supports veterans. And I myself am actually a veteran. I went into the Army for 4 years after high school, and I did my basic training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, then did my job training at Fort Gordon, Georgia, and then after that was over, I was stationed for another little over a year at Fort Gordon for my first permanent assignment, and then my last 2 years I was stationed over in Germany. And that was a blast. I'd never been overseas. I enjoyed my time over there, made tons of great friends, and overall was a great experience that I have lots of great memories from. So anyway, at this Veterans Thrift Store, we picked up a few things. We picked up a West Virginia Mountaineers hat. Picked up a Blue Devils, Duke Blue Devils hat. Both of these hats were $1 each, and I have them listed for $15 each on eBay. Now I found this really cool motorcycle helmet. I know motorcycles can be expensive, and so when I saw this, and it looked like it was in pretty good shape. I picked it up and was looking at it, trying to pull comps, and I was having a hard time finding this exact one at first, but I did find it, and I was seeing comps like $70 to $80, and they had a sticker on it for $25. So I'm like, well, that's going to be a great deal. And it's not super heavy, but it's a little bulky. Need a bigger box, but not too bad. So I'm like, I'm going to pick this up. Well, come to find out, when I get to the counter with these three things and one other thing I'll show you in a second, the lady at the counter took a look at the helmet and saw the price tag, and she's like, that's priced way too high. I'm going to give you a deal on that. Like, okay, thanks. So she ended up giving it to me for $15. So I took that, and when I got home and looked up comps are kind of all over the place. I'd mentioned that when I was originally looking at it, it said 70 to 80. The more I researched, there were ones that were going for that, but I think this one is going to more likely go more along the lines of $60. So that's what I had it listed for. It has a nice little flip down visor. Anyways, it's in really good condition, so that's going to make someone really happy. Alright, and the last thing that I picked up at the Veterans Thrift Store was this Tony Little's Gazelle Freestyle VHS workout set. So it's still sealed in this plastic, so it's original, never opened, and I'd heard that VHS tapes, especially if they're sealed, can be worth money. So I looked it up, and I mean, it's not like it's going to make me rich, but it is pretty good. I have it listed for $15, and I paid $2. So decent profit. So after leaving the Veterans Thrift Store, we went to a second Goodwill. And at this Goodwill, I only bought one thing, but this is the big ticket item of the day. And this is the type of item that I was thinking of when I came up with the name Behold and Resold. The Behold part, I was thinking of, hey, all these hidden little treasures that have amazing value. I wanted to behold them. I wanted to show them off at what a great deal it was. So are you ready to see what this great item is? Tennis racket. You'd be surprised. Back maybe a month or more ago, I picked up another tennis racket. It was in good condition, had decent comps. I haven't sold it yet, but it was just a generic tennis racket. When I first picked this one up, I thought the same thing. They had it listed for $3, and I pull it out, and I'm like, oh, that looks like a pretty nice tennis racket. Really light, and not beat up, hardly scraped up at all. I mean, it has some scrapes and scratches in the normal places that tennis rackets get them, but overall it is in excellent condition. And so I looked it up on eBay, and my jaw hit the floor. I could not believe that a tennis racket found at Goodwill could be worth this much. So obviously it is in used condition. The grip is not in great condition. It's usable, but grips are pretty easy to replace, and so that can be done pretty easily. Strings feel good, and the comps did have a decent range, so it was kind of hard to pinpoint exactly what I might be able to sell it for. So brand new, this particular racket, which is a Wilson Pro Staff 6.0 Mid Plus 95. Brand new, I think I was seeing $500 or $600. But obviously this is in used condition, excellent condition, but used. And I have it listed on eBay for $200. Now I'm not expecting to sell it at that price. If I do, great, that's awesome. But I know I'll at least get $100 easy. And I believe from what I was seeing, there was lots of sold comps that were in the mid 100s. So I'm thinking I might be able to get anywhere from $150 to $175. So behold that potential profit right there. That's, man, I can't wait to sell this one. Not just to, and I'm not excited just to sell it to make the money. I'm excited to sell it to make somebody happy for getting this at a great deal. So we left that Goodwill with huge smiles on our faces, but our stomachs weren't so happy. So it had been a long morning, and it was late. I think it might have been close to 1 o'clock, so we were pretty hungry by now. And so we finally found a place to eat and get refueled for our last 2 stores before heading home. So the next thrift store that we went to was another Goodwill. When we first went in and were looking around, we weren't finding anything. I mean, there was a lot of stuff there. It was just not finding anything that we were interested in. Nothing was catching our eye. There was a couple things that I picked up and were carrying around and I would put back on the shelf. You know, things that would make a little bit of profit, but I was debating whether it was worth the cleaning, the picture taking, the listing for a few dollars or $5, $10. Sometimes it's worth it and sometimes it's not. It just depends on the item. And I just wasn't feeling it for most of those items. So finally I walked over to the hats and I did find a cool hat. I'll show it up over here because I actually sold it last night and it's going out today. But it's a Under Armour bucket hat that's like a gray camo. It's actually pretty cool, and that just sold. It looked brand new and was in excellent condition. Paid $2 and I sold it for, I believe it was $20. So I continued to walk around the store, not really finding much. So all I think I had in my hand was that hat. So I was kind of feeling bummed, especially after that great find from the previous Goodwill. Everything was like kind of lackluster at this one, so I was like, I just want to find something good. So I walked over to near the checkout where the Goodwills usually have those display cases. And I know that the Goodwill's local to me, like they never have anything good in those display cases. The one that's closest to me, all they ever have there is jewelry, and I'm not into jewelry, but so anyways, I walk up to this display case, and from a distance it looked like there might be some interesting things. So I started looking around, and the first thing that I see is I couldn't believe it. There was a small clear plastic container that had a bunch of they're called Teeny Mates. And the thing that kind of why it caught my eye was just 2 or 3 days prior to being in the store, I had watched a video from Mountain Man Treasures. And if you haven't heard of him, I'll put a link to his channel down below. But I was watching his channel. He's also a part-time reseller, and I've been watching a lot of his videos. And like I said, just 2 days before that, maybe 3, he had put out a video, and in that video, he was showing the things that he sold that day or the previous day. And one of the items was, so he had mentioned they're not a ton of money, but they sell pretty well, and they're tiny, so they ship really easy. But they look just like this. They have them for all different sports. So we have NFL ones here. So this is a quarterback for the Bengals, and here's a running back for the Patriots. And so they're just tiny little 1-inch little plastic figurines. So there was a bucket of these, and looking around in them, I could see quarterbacks, running backs, receivers for NFL, and then I could see some baseball ones, some pitchers, and some batters. I knew from Mountain Man Treasure's video that he was selling them, I believe, for a few dollars plus shipping. So again, not great, but when you have a bunch of them, it's going to add up over time. So the bucket was, I think, $9 or $10, but it even had a few rare ones in there, and including there's a referee and this glow-in-the-dark running back. So these ones are pretty rare, and I believe I have these ones listed for $12 or $15. So even though the profit on most of them are only $2 to $3, that times 115, I'm gonna make about $300 off of that. So if that wasn't enough, I look right beside that bucket of Teeny Mates, and I see a big gallon-sized Ziploc baggie that appears to have metal war figurines. So I ask them at the counter if I can look at them, and so they take them out, and I'm not a big history person. Do you want to be in the show? Hi. Compass says that he wants to be part of the video. So say hi. Hi, Compass. Say hi to the world. Yeah, you should go boy. So anyway, at this Goodwill, when I looked beside the Teeny Mates and I saw the bag of these metal war figures, I asked to see them, and I'm not a big history person. That was one of my least favorite subjects in school, but doesn't mean that I don't find it interesting. I'm not going to show you all of them. I'll try to put several of the pictures up beside me again to show off as many as I can, but on camera I'll show a few different ones. So here is, but here's one of them. It's a W. Britton vintage 1988, what's it called? A mounted, I believe they were called a British lifeguard, but I thought that one was pretty cool. And then here's a 2013 from that same company. I just thought these were really neat. And here's if any of you know your history, this is a Ulysses S. Grant figurine. So all these are metal. Some of them are worth more than others. Like the one that was on the horse, I have that listed for $25. I believe the Ulysses S. Grant I have listed for $50. So again, a lot of these I was having trouble finding comps for. Some of them I was specifically able to find, and other ones I could only infer what their value was. When you're looking for sold comps on eBay, if it hasn't been sold for the past 90 days, you're not going to see it. And if nobody currently has it listed, you're not going to see it. So you won't see it at all on eBay. So it makes it really tough sometimes to find an exact value. So like I mentioned earlier, sometimes it's easier to list it maybe higher than what you might expect. And as some might say, shoot for the stars. And if you hit, great. If not, lower the price until you find what it sells for. But these are also items that might take a lot longer to sell because there may not be as many people interested. So there are probably about 15 to 20 metal war figurines that I have all listed. And then there were also a few like cannons and this catapult. So this is a die-cast catapult. It actually functions. So if you pull the catapult down, it locks into place, and all I have near me is a piece of dog food. So if I put that there, I'm going to back up some just so you can see it go. And you pull on this lever, and that probably went about 20 feet that way. It probably went way out of frame. But if I had one of these when I was in school, especially like grade school, I would definitely get myself in trouble with this because I'd be shooting stuff across the classroom all the time. I was usually a student that was well behaved and didn't get into trouble, but you know, everyone always has a little bit of a mischievous side. So anyway, that whole bag of war figurines and war stuff was, I think, $5.50. So I'll definitely be making some good money out of that as well. And the last thrift store of the day was a Christian thrift store, and we actually like this one. It has color-coded tags where, depending on the color, on what percentage off it is, and also everything, I think all toys and games were 50% off in addition to whatever other percent it had off. So you can find some stuff at really, really cheap prices. So this particular day we only found 3 items. One was another bag of littles. This one wasn't worth very much. I thought it might be worth it, but again, I think we'll make our money out of it, but it's nothing special. Then the 2 other things, one I've already sold, which is this thing called carpet bowls. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, B-O-U-L-E-S, carpet bowls. But it's like a bocce ball for inside on the carpet. And I was kind of bummed because I really wanted to test it out. I was going to play it as part of this video, but it actually sold a couple days ago before I could get this video out. So I only paid $0.25 for this thing, and it ended up selling for close to $20. And then the other find, the last find, is this Garmin heart rate monitor. So it's brand new and never been used. Picked this up for about $5.50, and I have it listed for $50. So I should be able to make a good amount on that. So that was a long, tiring, yet exciting day of thrifting. And like I had said before in a previous video, I didn't think that thrifting was going to be something that I enjoyed doing, but it has turned into something that I greatly enjoy. And actually, I'm really excited because pretty soon, maybe in the next couple weeks, yard sales are going to start happening more. So I certainly look forward to being able to go to a bunch of yard sales this year and see what kind of treasures I can find and what I can share with you. So to recap our journey in this video, we went to 6 stores, spent $94, got a ton of items that are going to make us back a lot more than that $94. I didn't add up the total potential profit, but if you think about the tennis racket was going to be 150 plus in profit. All those war figurines, that was probably going to be several hundred in profit. The teeny mates were going to be a few hundred in profit. So if I had to guess, there might be close to $1,000 in potential profit between everything that we got that weekend. So that's definitely helping to make this part-time reselling side hustle more viable, seeing those sorts of numbers. Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click that button down below to subscribe, and then the button next to it with the notification bell, go ahead and click that as well, so that way YouTube will notify you anytime I release a video. And it definitely helps support me and my channel, and it helps me know that what I'm creating is useful to you and people are enjoying it. If you're interested in any of the items that you've seen today, or just want to check out my eBay store to see what else I might have listed in it, go ahead down below in the description. I have a link to my eBay store. Check it out. Check out the items that I have. If you're interested in anything, send me an offer with a note, and I might make you a deal. Alright, well, until next time, guys, keep on flipping.